Okay, this is the lecture I would have done for you on October 16th. Um, though I'm not able to be there due to other commitments, but the topic of discussion is about solutions worth developing versus COTS. So first, let me bring up a presentation deck that that talks about this issue. All right. So while you're working on fundamentally trying to understand the problem that your group is tasked with, ultimately, you're going to have to transition to start thinking about a solution to that problem, a solution that you can recommend to them based on your research, based on talking to people. Um, so it's really going to require a lot of what's called customer discovery, speaking to people in the field. So when you start thinking about what are your recommendations going to be for your client in this context, I want to talk about solutions worth developing versus commercial off-the-shelf technologies. I mean, here's a great quote from Steve Blank. Sometimes the best innovation is not inventing something new, but finding a new way to use something that already exists. And this is particularly relevant for your projects. As you understand the problem, ultimately, you're going to have to decide amongst your group, does the solution to this problem require some kind of a customized design, or can we go with commercial off the shelf? So let's take a look at it. So solutions worth developing, okay, versus the COTS. Uh, keep in mind that I've assigned 2 readings for you for this week. That one is discovery, problem versus solution, and the other one is when to use COTS. These are very relevant readings, and I expect you to be conversant in those readings. I will pull questions from them for the exam on November 13th. So be sure to keep up with your readings along the way. So the rest of my talk here will summarize a lot of what you've been able to read in these articles. So what makes a solution worth developing? I want to think about that. If you fundamentally understand the problem, can you develop, this is more of a customized solution that addresses the problem? Does it address a problem that is deeply understood and validated? So when I mean validated, that you're getting feedback from multiple perspectives on the problem. Are existing products and services inadequate to meet specific needs related to your problem? So if you're going to recommend a customized solution, you should know what's already out there and what's already out there, how is it being used by other branches of the military, or how is it being used by other kinds of organizations? Can you develop, I'm not going to ask you to develop a product or even a technology solution between now and December 4th. That's not realistic, but recommending an approach to customized solutions might be appropriate for your project. But from the needs of the user, how critical is it? And can a solution be developed in a timely manner for them? That's important to consider. Can it be developed in a cost-effective manner, and can it meet the specific needs um, of the team who wrote up your problem statement? So again, if you're going to recommend a customized solution, I don't expect you to produce the customized solution, though that would be great if you're able to do that. But I do expect you to give some recommendations. And the following week in our course, you're going to learn something about prototyping. And you might suggest some sort of a prototype of a customized solution for your particular project. But if you think that solving the problem that your client has identified can be addressed through COTS, what are commercial off-the-shelf solutions? So COTS represent ready-made, commercially available products for general use that potentially could be applied to your particular problem statement. What I've discovered is that COTS are increasingly being used to solve defense-related challenges due to accessibility and cost effectiveness issues. So don't be afraid to consider COTS solutions to the problem if what's available makes sense. So let's look at that. When does commercial off-the-shelf technology solutions make sense? I mean, here are some questions that you might want to ask. Does a product or service, for that matter, already exist? If so, maybe there's many competing projects that may exist, such as, I know one of the groups is working in flight logging. My guess is that there are a lot of competing flight logging platforms that are already out there that might be appropriate for your particular client. Is that you want to use COTS if you can, if it's quicker and cheaper to use than trying to develop something new from scratch. That's a given. Can it be modified to meet the specific needs of the military? Now, that's an important one, because if you're going to recommend a commercial off-the-shelf technology, that was designed for general use, and it may not be appropriate to meet the specific needs. And that's why you have to talk to people to try to understand what those specific needs are. Do these products, I mean, if you're evaluating them, look at the features and benefits. Can the COTS solution more quickly deploy? Is it lower costs? Is it providing access to modern technologies? But that's, if you look at the downside of COTS, it's limited in its ability to customize to the specific needs of your particular project. And there may be some potential integration issues. That's why you have to talk to the people that wrote up your problem statements to truly understand that. And to what extent would a commercial off-the-shelf technology pose security needs, which are really important from a military perspective? So let's compare custom solutions versus COTS. Some factors to consider. Customization. Do military needs require a highly specialized solution? If the solution is that specialized, then yeah, you want to design your recommendations with prototypes and so forth. And you'll learn a little bit about prototyping in the next class. You might recommend some type of customized solution. Cost. Is developing a customized solution more expensive than using a COTS? In some cases, it probably will be more expensive, but you have to look at the trade-off between the cost versus the benefits of a customized approach rather than a generalized piece of software or technology that's already out there. Speed. Does the mission require rapid deployment using existing COTS products? I mean, clearly commercial off the shelf can potentially be deployed much quicker than developing a customized solution. And then there's the security factor. Does the COTS product meet military security standards? It may not. And that may, in and of itself, dictate that you suggest to them developing some type of a customized solution. So, what does this talk mean with Riza? What can you be doing with your project ideas? I want you to discuss with your group, reflect on your project problem, and consider on the left side of this slide, does it make sense to develop a customized solution? Is the project problem truly unique? You know, and you'll be able to determine that after talking to hopefully quite a few people. How are other military units addressing the problem? You know, and are they using COTS or are they using customized solutions for them that might be able to be adapted in this case? And how feasible is it to suggest a customized solution to your project problem? Considerations with respect to using COTS. Can the problem be solved using a COTS product? If you're going down this route, your group should develop a list of possible solutions that might meet the project needs. And then I want you to compare those solutions. I want you to evaluate the features of each alternative solution and evaluate if the features of these COTS solutions match the needs of your client based on the project problem statement. And to what extent do these features address those clients' needs? So these are very important considerations. Your group should be working on figuring out an approach at this point to how can I identify some solutions to the problem? But I keep reiterating, first spend time trying to understand the problem. So with this short lecture, you know, we focused on deciding between custom solutions and COTS, and it's crucial for solving defense-related challenges efficiently. That's something you're going to have to consider. Yeah, I want you to use discovery and validation to determine if the problem needs a custom solution. As you know, clearly, if it doesn't need a custom solution, COTS is probably the most effective alternative kind of a recommendation. But you got to consider all factors: cost, customization, speed, security, when choosing between a custom solution and COTS, okay? So don't forget the readings, discovery, problem versus solution, and when to use commercial off-the-shelf technology. I will be pulling questions from them on the exam. Now, the following week on Wednesday, October 12th, October 23rd, again, I'm I'm going to be flying back into San Diego on that day, so I won't be able to join you in class. But I have arranged for representatives from the Zip Launchpad to come to class and to give you a workshop on tools for prototyping. I've given you an article to read. It's called The Importance of Prototyping. So read that article, attend class next week. Class, I will have attendance taken next week. I'm not going to be able to offer a Zoom option because I'm not even going to be there for it. But I think it's going to be a fascinating discussion for you and something that I hope, I mean, that I not only hope, but I plan, but I designed into your final deliverable to say something about prototyping in your final report. So get back to me with any questions and I will see you soon.